Okay, this was just for fun because, well, we all, nothing like the cute factor. There is something significant about these birds. These are called Muscovy ducks. And this particular flock is probably, it's been an inbred breeding line for about 50 years. The academics will tell you it doesn't work. You can't inbreed for 50 years. You get genetic drift and inbreeding depression. But this is a flock that suggests that maybe the academics don't have all the answers. Just a sec, I gotta close the gate. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so the academics don't have all the answers. And what I've been learning from working with this flock, and I've had it for about 23 years. And an old Italian farmer, he had about 30 years prior to that, he brought a duck home from the auction with their brood, kind of like this gray duck and her brood. And then he just kept collecting them over time. And each year he'd clean out the week and they just inbred and inbred and inbred. I came along, like I say, about 23 years ago. I started working with them, and I was quite impressed with the hatch rates and the vitality. And so I started my flock. And when you told me that how long what you've been doing, I went, oh my God, I have a gold mine here. This guy did all the heavy lifting. He removed all the inbreeding depression. So here we are. And now, boys, like this guy, like this male is about 15 pounds. He's about 3 pounds over standard weight. In the poultry show world, he helped set the standard for the breed. Like he's one of the top ones. This is one of the top awarded flocks in all of Canada, and they just do their own thing. No, nothing fancy. The trick here is you select for vigor. You select against inbreeding depression, and over time, the population just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And this flock has survived 2 avian flu outbreaks. As you can tell, they're out natural. They're not kept in a bubble. They're not protected from anything. And they are 100% dependent on inbreeding. On natural selection and natural immunity. That's what I was trying to say, is natural immunity. Anyways, the academics are trying to pretend that a natural immunity doesn't exist. It's not valuable. Like I said, 2004, 2006, these parents of these birds were exposed, or were likely exposed. There's no proof that they were, but they were likely exposed to avian flu because they intermingle with the wild ducks. But they keep on keeping on. And what I learned in 2004 is that avian flu requires 2 things to survive. And changing that basically starts, first of all, there are 2 forms of avian flu. There's the regular avian flu that is just runs natural in the world, and it's no different than the cold and flu for us. It's there, but it's not the end of the world. But when you take that natural form of avian flu and you put it into an environment where there's a tremendous amount of population density and a tremendous amount of genetic uniformity, like say a commercial chicken farm, it can evolve. It changes and evolves and mutates into a dangerous high pathogen form. And then that high pathogen form escapes and it wreaks havoc across the poultry industry and the wild birds. And then you get scientists weaponizing it and making it even worse. It's not so good. But here's the key detail. For that avian flu to survive, it still requires a high population density and genetic uniformity. That's why it doesn't live in the wild. It can transfer and float around in the wild, but it doesn't actually live in the wild. And therefore, it can invade a farm like mine, but it simply can't survive. It'll eventually die off. And I think we've all witnessed the same impact in a certain ostrich farm. The avian flu was not able to survive there. There's just not enough population to sustain it. And the problem with the government is they keep ignoring that. The solution's staring right at us. They don't want to hear it because the corporations can't make money off it. But who is the government working for? Or who should the government be working for? Us or the corporations? This is food security sitting right in front of you. This is food security. The chicken in the background there, that's my meat bird. She's got a timeout because she keeps wanting to sit on eggs, and I can't make money when they sit on eggs. I want her laying eggs. So, but anyways, same thing with them. This is food security. This is our resilience. This is something we can always use to build back. This is our escape plan. And the government wants to kill it because they don't care about your food security. They don't care about my food security. They care about income security for the corporations. And I'll talk more about that later. Anyways, have a good day. Enjoy.